And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Duster Squad podcast. After a week off, we have our glorious return in the week right before Thanksgiving. So that's exciting. Hope everybody's going to have fun family time on Thanksgiving. And if you're not, it's still going to be fun. Get yourself a nice
Actually,
turkey
I'll do
breast.
short little story. We did our de facto Thanksgiving this weekend. We did like a combo of my mom's birthday and Thanksgiving this past Saturday because I work on Thanksgiving, and then also my brother's doing like stuff with my sister-in-law's side of the family on the day of. So we had this past Saturday, and it was really nice. It was
All
a fun
right.
time.
Very,
Nice.
very nice.
Yeah.
Well, happy birthday to Lori.
Hell yeah.
And
in 2
yeah.
days, because
in 2 days. All right, it's late. Or
Yeah.
it's early.
yeah,
Uh,
we were like comboing the days both early. Yeah.
Very nice. Very nice. We'll shout out to Lori.
Hell yeah.
So an uncommon occurrence on the Duster Squad podcast. We actually got a comment on our Finnish team episode.
Really?
So yes, we did. I didn't see it until just today, but it's from 11 days ago. So it must have been just after. Those actually, for some reason, those two episodes, the Finnish team and the Swedish team, kind of got a decent amount of views for us for some reason.
Huh.
Like 50 views
All
on the full podcast. It's like okay, all right.
Look at this go.
Yeah, so Benny, you read that name again. Petraseria Kokkola.
That's so yes, apologies in advance for our pronunciation, but my best guess is Petraseria Kokkola is my best guess.
Yeah, so
But
shout
I
out.
probably butchered it.
I think it's good. It's you know what? It's about as good as we can do here. But yeah, so this is what they say. They say Finland means fine land in Swedish and given by the Swedes. So there's a little history for you. That their team name or their team name, their nation's
Their
name
country.
comes from the
Interesting.
Swedes. Yeah. Suomi means Suomi. There's no other meaning. So I guess
Oh.
there's no translation. So it's just kind of a word.
That's
over
just what the Finns call it in their own language. Oh, interesting.
there. And these are his thoughts on the actual roster. He thinks Lankinen over Huso. And then he has center depth: Barkov, Aho, Lundell, Kotkaniemi, Hintz, Hala, and Rantanen. Teravainen, Lusterainen, if needed. So that's just the whole forward group, I think, is what he's listing there.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, probably yeah. Some of those centers will play as wingers.
For sure, definitely. Like Kotkaniemi, I see probably sliding over to the wing.
Yeah.
I don't believe that Machelli and Tolvanen both make the roster. And then he says, "Greetings from Finland." So thank you very much for the comment.
Oh, cool.
And
We love the
listen,
interaction.
we are pretty. Well, to be honest, we're not really low on any of the teams in the Four Nations.
I mean, no, they chose the 4 teams well
Yeah.
to make it a competitive event. Like, if they were gonna do if they were gonna do a smaller scale tournament with fewer teams and have it be as entertaining and interesting as possible, those were the 4 countries to go for.
But yeah, we were going through it, and we were going through the Finnish team, and we were like, "Wow, this actually is a pretty sick roster. It's actually not bad."
Yeah, it's not bad.
Like they in a game like hockey, they have a very solid chance to do something.
Yeah,
Make
in a
some
tournament where
upsets.
you're really only gonna have to win a few games, like
Mhm.
that could very easily go their way. Would not shock me.
Yeah, so wanted to shout that out first. So hey, listen, we see the comments. And if you're listening on Spotify right now, you can actually comment on Spotify. So wherever
That's
you're
a thing?
listening, it is. Yeah, you can comment on there.
did
I
not
don't
know
know. I just see whenever I upload that you can have comments. So
Huh.
So hey,
There you go.
let me hit this button here. There we go. Throw us a chat, throw us a comment, and we will answer it in the next episode. Unless you're chatting live, and then we can answer it right live. So
Hell
that's it's a little shout out. But we already kind of talked about it, but it is Thanksgiving, so that's exciting. Do any of you have any fun Thanksgiving stories? Like from the past?
from the past.
Any,
It's
like,
never been
humorous
that
things?
eventful of a holiday for me. It's just sort of the dinner. I don't really have much now.
No family football matches, Eric, where
No.
someone gets absolutely decked.
No, actually, oh, you want to hear a funny Thanksgiving story? There we go. This is pretty
Of
great.
course.
This is a fun one. This is I still have PTSD from this one. So, um, my grandma Dorothy, my mom's mom. This was like many years ago. We'd always have Thanksgiving at her house, and I remember when I was younger, right? My hair was fucking long, it's flowing in the wind, and we used to make giant leaf piles, right? And then jump into them. That's just what you do.
Yeah.
Break them all up, jump
As
in.
one does.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we'd like throw a football around and stuff. So I remember this particular year, we were doing that, and I went inside to eat dinner, and as I was eating, something fell out of my hair, and it was a baby slug, like this
Oh.
big. And it's just because, jumping in leaf piles,
Yeah,
right?
you'll get that. You'll get that.
Oh.
And every single person at the table just burst out into laughter. And I
Oh
was
my
very
god, dude. That is
I'm
not what I
very-
would have done.
I mean, outside is the bugs' house. Like that
Yeah.
is where they do be living.
Yeah. Yeah,
they
yeah.
do. Yeah, that's
I would
that's
ugh.
funny. I was just thinking about this story a few weeks ago. Yeah, something like that. That's so funny. That'll always stick with me.
That is exciting. Yeah. I would have shat myself.
That also just makes me think of like whenever people are like, "Oh, it's a vicious shark." I'm like, "No, you're in its house. You're where it lives." Like,
yeah, you got to be careful. Got to be careful in the water. Dude, I don't like the water. I do like the water, but I don't like it at the same time cuz the stuff in there is weird.
you prefer like a lake as opposed to the ocean.
Lakes better. I actually like swimming in the ocean, but it's just you don't know what's in there, dude. We don't even know. We don't even know everything that's in there. There could be
That's
dude,
true.
there's like okay, so this is what I think, and this has nothing to do with hockey or anything. But I feel like the sea creatures are like aliens. Like when you think about aliens and all the like art and culture and whatever we've seen of aliens, it's like, dude, like a squid, dude.
Oh yeah, no, like all the especially like the deep sea shit.
Yes.
It's like because it's in such a foreign like environment to be living in, like the pressure differences, the light differences.
It's basically the same as space.
Life inherently is going to be so wildly different.
Yeah.
That's why whenever any of those fish come up higher, it usually fucks with them because the pressure changes is so insane that like they usually can't handle it, which is always sad because then they just get. That's why a lot of deep sea things when they're up at the surface look really gross because they've like ballooned or like gotten all weird from the pressure changes. If you see like photos taken from different subs that go like way down and like get photos with like lights and shit, like that's where they look the coolest because you see them in their
naturalness,
their natural habitat, and
yeah,
they always look weird as fuck. I do love looking at ocean stuff like that though. It is fun.
I have the opposite reaction. It scares me. But
that's fair. Yeah. That's fair.
Dude, like big fishes, giant fishes.
Oh yeah.
I don't know, man. They're like as big as me. They could eat me. And it would be
the ones that are wilder. The ones that are wilder are the ones that can sustain going up and down like through because like sperm whales, they hunt by going like way the fuck down, and like I think they got like different sonar shit because whales and whatnot. But like being able to withstand those pressure changes, they got like weird shit in their head that help balance it. I'm sure a biologist is hearing me say all this right now and being like, dude, stop. But that's the very basics of it.
I don't even know the basics, but it's wild. That's all I know.
That's for sure.
Okay. One quick news item, then we'll talk about fantasy, then we'll get to our games, and then we got a couple other things. Quick news item. Fired, then hired in like 4 days or whatever it was. Jimmy Montgomery, Jimmy Monty.
Indeed.
Fired from Boston. We all kind of saw this coming. I'm fairly certain I had him as a heat meter candidate earlier in the year.
Yep, you did.
But so he's out. They're like, this isn't good enough. It doesn't matter if the team is trash. It's your fault. So
Yeah.
he's out, and kind of all probably expected it. Somebody snagged him up, and it was the St. Louis Blues. They were like, dude, all the teams, like all the coaches of the teams that were kind of on the bubble, they
were
all,
like,
as soon as they saw him get
fuck.
fired, they were
Yeah,
like,
they're like,
oh no.
I might be looking for a job soon.
Oh no.
Yeah. Yeah, Lalonde in Detroit couldn't have been feeling great.
Yeah, he was
That's
he was
his name,
crapping
right?
himself a little bit. Yeah. He was crapping himself a little bit. Trying to think of the other coaches that would have been. There's so many. But
Yeah.
Andrew Brunette, maybe.
Yeah. Honestly, yeah.
That's interesting. Yeah. That could have been.
Although they just beat the Jets.
They did. They smoked them too, didn't they? They like beat their
I
ass.
think it was 4-1. So like still a pretty good
Oh,
game.
okay.
But
yeah, it's not bad. But yeah, so I wanted to go over a couple stats with the Monty. So with Boston, he had 184 games played or games coached.
Yeah.
A record of 120, 41, and 23 because they had that record-breaking year with 65 wins.
Yeah, and then it's not like they were terrible last year. They had a pretty good
No.
fucking year last year too.
Yeah, so they did well. They had a really good
Yeah.
couple years. That was with the Bruins. So a combined 120 and 64. So nearly twice as many wins as
He
losses.
almost doubled. Yeah, he was like just
yeah.
shy of doubling. Wow.
Yep. And this year at 20 games coached, 8, 9, and 3. So not good. Not good this year. But it's not his fault, dude. So, because let me run down what he's coaching here because I have that open.
Okay. Yeah.
Line 1 of Morgan Geekie, Pavel Zacha, and David Pasternak. That's line 1, guys.
That's what you're running with Pasta.
That's what you're lining up
no.
against Austin Matthews or Kucherov or like Matthew Tkachuk and Barkov. That's who McDavid. Like that's who you're lining up against them. How you think that's gonna go, dude?
Yeah.
Second line, Brad Marchand, Elias Lindholm, and Justin Brazeau. Now, big issue here. That sounds good. Lindholm has not done anything.
Sound that great.
Marchand has also not done anything. I just mean by those two names because like Lindholm is 40-goal scorer. Marchand has been a very good player in the league, but not this year. Third line of Trent Frederick, Charlie Coyle, and Tyler Johnson. That might be a new thing. Is that?
Yeah, he did. He got signed like I think a week or two into the season. I want to say.
Is that T Dick?
It is
T Dick.
Oh, what a traitor!
The Lightning legend himself.
Lightning legend. And then the fourth line of John Beecher, Mark Kastelik, and another Lightning legend, Cole Koepka.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if he ever put on a Lightning sweater.
I do remember that name being in that organization, though.
Yep. And then the defense. The defense is, wow. The defense. First pairing of McAvoy and Mason Lohrei.
Yeah, Lohrei, I think.
Second pairing of Parker Witherspoon, which is a sweet name. Gosh. And Brandon Carlo. And then the third pairing of Andrew Peeke and $5 million on the cap, Nikita Zadorov.
That's the third. Oh my!
Oh, he's already down on the third pairing. I do remember hearing
Dude,
about
this team is just butt, man. It's pure butt.
That's not a good roster. That's a mid-ass roster. Like,
and on top of that, Jay Sway has not been good because he missed all of camp because they were holding out.
Yeah.
And yeah.
I was gonna say, I feel like with Swayman, he missed camp, and also you look at that defense, and it's like, well, nothing's really helping his situation.
No.
Right but still,
I will throw out right now injured Hampus Lindholm, so that's a little bit better on the defense. Probably throw him in for one of the.
Still, that doesn't make them like world beaters.
It's terrible.
Like,
it's terrible.
Still not a good roster.
Like if you put that up against all of the other lineups in the Atlantic, they're probably lower. They should be lower than they actually are right now. because they're actually
Yeah.
in third, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Atlantic's been a bit of a mess.
It's
but
it's a bit wild. But yeah, that's kind of how it is. And let's see where they moved. Let's see where they moved. Let's see what Monty is now behind. Because I have the Blues lineup in front of me as well. So it's top line of Buchnevich, Thomas, Kyrou. I
it's
don't know
pretty-
about
I
it.
mean,
It's not bad, but that's as a number one line.
there is no
that kinda
pasta
hurts.
on there, but it is a better spread of
Oh,
guys
definitely.
like
Yeah.
on the
Yeah.
one.
Definitely. And they're younger.
Yeah.
Second line. Here we go. Brandon Saad, Braden Shen, Jake Neighbors. They are not young.
Ooh, that's
Oh boy.
I did
That's not
not
great.
know Saad was still playing, dude. How
I
old is that
didn't
guy?
either. I don't know. Not young.
That how many cups does Saad have? He won 2 with the Blackhawks.
I don't. He definitely wasn't around for all
I
three.
don't remember.
I don't know if it's 1 or 2, but anyhow.
Dylan Holloway, Radek Foxa, and my boy Matty J. Joseph.
Matty J.
Again, that's nothing special. Holloway's not bad. I love Matthew Joseph. He's fast. That's about it. And then Toropchenko, Sundqvist.
Torpchenko.
What'd you say? Sorry.
Torpchenko.
Oh, there's a O in between the R and the P.
Oh, there is?
On the thing I'm looking at, Alexei.
I've heard announcers just say Torpchenko. That's like one of
Torpchenko.
my favorite hockey names. That's one of my favorite hockey names.
We'll go with that.
Love it.
Sundqvist and Nathan Walker. So that's fourth line, but nothing there. Dude, the defense is actually ass. Like it actually might be worse than the Bruins. He actually might be on a worse team. Might be coaching a worse
I think,
team.
yeah, I mean, yeah, I think he is. But
First pairing Ryan Suter is not a strong start.
No.
yeah, that's rough. That's rough.
Yeah, he's paired up with Pareko.
Okay, well.
Paranovich with Justin Falk. So their right side's actually not bad. And then P.O. Joseph and Matthew Kessel. It's bad, dude. It's pretty rough. And then, of course,
That's
in net,
not a good team.
the boy,
Oh boy.
Jordan Bennington. They do have 3 people on the IR, Krug, Broberg, and Nick Leddy. So that probably bumps people down, but
but like,
yeah.
still.
Yeah, dude, it's not it ain't Guten. We'll say that much. But
Sheesh.
No.
so what do you guys think that he improves the Blues position? They are currently you'll give me a
6th in the
moment.
Central. They're 6th in the Central.
They're 6th in the Central? Oh lord.
Yep.
So does he improve on that? Does he get them to improve on that? They are tied currently with Utah.
He probably will. I don't know that it'll be by that much, but I think it's probably easy to say he's likely a better coach than Drew Bannister was, not just from track record.
Yeah, for sure.
But I don't know. That's a rough.
Hold on.
That is a rough roster.
That's
I think
pretty
what's
bad,
tough
dude. I
about-
didn't realize it was that bad.
I think what's tough about this is, let's say he turns it around too, right, and gets the most he can out of that roster. If you look at the Central, it's Winnipeg, Minnesota, Dallas, Colorado as your top 4, right? And those teams, Minnesota and Winnipeg, are having great years. I don't think they're going to falter. So already there, it's rough. But then you also have Nashville in there, and people are waiting. Like, Nashville's that team that maybe can turn it around, right?
Because they did go on an insane run literally just last year.
Well,
so
and they have the raw talent to like make it work. It might take a little time. So based on all that competition, even if you get the most out of that roster, like, is it good enough to beat out Nashville, Colorado, Minnesota for like?
I don't think so. No.
I don't think so. I don't think so either.
Probably not.
That's tough.
Probably not. It is tough. Definitely tough.
But they signed him to a 5-year deal, so I
Darn.
think they
Wow. Okay.
are more interested in what he can. Like they
What he
look
can
at
do
him as a
later.
really good coach, and they wanted to get him before somebody else could, and like he can be the one to sort of build them out of where they're at.
Yeah.
Would be my guess, because looking at that roster this year, it's like Oh, that's not that. That's not doing. Even if you squeak your way in, that roster's not doing fucking shit.
No,
Like
it is.
that's
It is not. That is factual.
yeah.
Okay, yeah. So we'll have to keep our eyes on that. I do expect a small coach bump, perhaps.
Oh, probably. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, you guys laid it out pretty well. The top four teams. The top four teams are what you'd expect, except for Minnesota, who has just been insanely good for some reason. So it's
Yeah.
going to be nearly
Which makes it
impossible
even
to squeeze in there.
It makes it even worse for St. Louis because it's like, oh, the other ones are there too, but then Minnesota's also just
Yeah.
somehow here. Like,
Yep.
yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. But moving on here, let's talk about a league that actually matters. The fantasy leaguers, boys.
Oh.
Is that how that works?
Yes. Okay, so right now we have like, let's see, that one's done, that one's done. Most of these are done. Eric, you and my mom had the matchup of the week.
Yes, we did.
You guys, a 0.4 difference.
You want to hear something funny
in it.
about that?
Yeah.
So I could have played Willie Nylander tonight. I was already winning, and I saw that your mom's team, all of the games were played already, and I'm like, what are the odds that Nylander gets me negative points and I blow it? So close, right?
That's a good play.
So-
That's a really good play.
So I didn't start Nylander, right? I was actually talking to Caroline about this too. I'm like, I feel like this makes sense, right? And she's
Good
like, I
play.
feel like it does make sense. And tonight Nylander has
he's
a golden.
actually-
Yeah, he's tearing it.
He's actually
Of course,
shitting right
but-
now, yeah. He's got
but-
16 points.
But at the same time, what I was doing was I was waiting to see if your mom would pick anyone up on the waiver wire or something right before the game, and she didn't. So I'm like, all right, I'm just not going to start him because it's a win either way. So
Yeah.
I'll take it.
Yeah, good enough. Good enough. Yeah,
Yeah.
so close win, but it's not actually that close.
For those listening, I'm winning 230.6 to 230.2. So yeah, 0.4.
Yeah.
Very close. Very close. Tony's gonna beat my sister. Danielle is gonna lose handily to Nick. 100-point difference there. There must have been a large game
Nick just
mismatch there.
cannot be stopped.
Right now, the one.
Oh, you're the one.
The one to
one.
beat him is me.
There you go.
The one.
Hey.
Yep, I beat him last week. Last week when we didn't have a show, of course, is when I beat him.
Oh no.
But it looks like I am going to, knock on wood, take the win against my dad, which will make it, if it happens, 4 losses to start the season and then 3 wins.
That's nice.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Comeback. Don't
Yep.
call it a comeback. And then Benny.
digging it back out of the hole there.
Yep. And then Benny's going to very easily beat Mitch.
Yeah, it was nice to realize at around Thursday that I didn't really need to care for the rest of the week.
Yeah. Once you get a big enough lead, it's usually pretty safe.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's how that's wrapping up. We still got Nick up top, 5-1. Then Benny, my dad, and Eric 4-2. Well done.
Yep.
Then Danielle, Tony, my mom at 3-3, me at 2-4, and then Annie and Mitch bringing up the rear. Married couple bringing up the rear, 1-5 each. So we'll see. Maybe they'll start to pay attention. My sister could. Actually, no, she probably can't because she's about to pop out a child. So probably
I forgot
not.
about that.
Yeah. They're going home for Thanksgiving. Soon they fly up, and then actually they might be flying up. They might be up there right now, and then they aren't flying back for Christmas because it's so close. If the baby's early, they don't want to
Right.
have to deal with that.
That
So
makes sense. Yeah.
yep, pretty soon, dude, I'm gonna be an uncle. It's gonna
Yeah,
be weird.
man.
Gonna be weird.
I know that life. It's fun.
I know that.
You get to go hang out with them and have fun and shit.
Then
and
you leave.
Then
You
you
have to
leave.
change the poopy diapers.
It's great.
Did you change a poopy diaper?
I have not.
Yeah, I'm gonna avoid that. I'll wait until it's my own kid.
Yeah.
Then I'll do it. Okay, what do you guys got for your teams? I didn't even look. Usually I have a look and see what everyone did this during the past week, but I did not look
I
today.
can run through because I've
Yeah,
got
what do
it
you got?
kind of pretty set in my head, but I'm just going to bring up their schedule. And I'm going to run through the last 2 weeks specifically
Oh yeah.
because that's only 5 games.
Oh,
They
okay.
have had a very spaced out schedule recently, and so it's been an interesting stretch. They're 3-2 in those games, and in one of those losses, they actually played a pretty good game against Minnesota. It didn't really get away from them until like the last 2/3 of the third period when they got a couple goals against, and then at the third goal was an empty netter. But they played a good game against Minnesota. Like I was not disappointed. But more importantly, this is now back on the 11th. They get a win against Buffalo, which was fucking batshit.
That game,
Back and forth the entire game.
yeah.
90% of the reason of that was Caden Primo couldn't stop a fucking puck to save his goddamn life that game.
What are you gonna do?
It was like it was so rough. It was like every other shot they were going down on him and it would just go in. Like, and not that they were always the easiest chance. Like there were some breakaways or whatever, but like the shots he was letting in, I was like, one of these got to be a save, because like you're actually getting goal support for once. Just one of them, please. And he hasn't seen a game since, so I guess
Yeah.
St. Louis, I felt similarly. And then the aforementioned game, they played Minnesota pretty well but lost. Then on a Saturday night, they just torched the Blue Jackets, which it's the Blue Jackets, but I don't know. You'll have your own thing to say about the Blue Jackets later, I'm sure, Mike.
No, I had no idea.
There was a really fun game against the Blue Jackets they played really well, got a 5-1 win. And the game that I was most impressed with was the 3-0 win against Edmonton, where they kind of were in a shell a little bit to start. Not that they weren't getting a lot of offensive chances, but they also weren't really letting anything up. Like they were letting them get their perimeter shots, they were letting it happen, but playing really solidly together. And then as soon as they got a like last minute goal at the end of the third period or second period rather, the Habs did. And then the entire third period, it was just all Habs. Like I don't know what happened, what flip switched, but they played fantastic. I think the final count was they limited the Oilers to like 5 high danger chances the entire game. It was like they got shots, but it was all perimeter. And I was like, this is a weirdly fantastic game. What's going on, boys? Where have you been the entire year?
Every now and then they can do it.
So I was hoping that'd be something to build on. Then last night was unfortunate. I was not able to watch it. I'm not going to go on this rant again because I'm pretty sure I've gone on this rant before on this channel. But when it's on NHL Network, the NHL's channel.
Yep.
Yeah, you can't watch
the
it.
NHL's channel. It's not on the subscription service ESPN Plus, which is supposed to be the subscription service that gets all of the NHL games. What are you doing? I'm not buying cable. It's not happening.
They will eventually figure that out, but it will be a little bit.
But yeah, so it was a rough game by all accounts last night. But Vegas is a good team. The Habs aren't. And it was a very weird game from the box score I saw. It was 0-0 outside of the first or through the first. 5-0 Vegas after the second, and then 6-2 Vegas after the third.
Dang.
So they won the first and the third 2-0 is what I'm going with.
Well done.
But so rough end to it, but it still is weirdly one of the better patches they've had this year. There was a lot I saw that they can build on, at least. Like they looked like a team. They looked like they had a functional defensive system. They're getting it together at least, which is a nice change of pace. And then the last thing I'll leave it on is the most recent update is Patrick Laine, according to RDS, could be back within 10 days.
Oh.
So he's getting there. He's getting close. So that could be a nice little boost.
I was about to ask you about Laine, and you answered my question before I even had to ask
it.
There
we
go.
Just in time.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
To play for... He's finished, is he not?
He is.
Okay.
I don't know that he's gonna make that team.
Yeah,
Dude,
I
get
don't
him
think
in.
he's gonna.
He's gonna come back and
bring him.
he's gonna snipe a hat trick in his like second game back. They're gonna be like, oh,
Well,
we
I
need him.
mean, I don't even know if he's gonna
Yeah.
play
Oh,
a
he
game or
won't
two
even
before they
be.
have to submit the
That's
rosters.
so
Yeah.
stupid to me that they have to submit the rosters like 2 months before the thing even happens.
I feel like they should
Yeah.
have scheduled it so
That's
like,
lame.
okay, you have like 2 extra moves down the line. So if in the intervening months something insane happens, and like you can, but
They're
like you
gonna
can't
have
go
to allow for
crazy.
that because like they're gonna name the teams,
Well,
and
for
then there's like
injuries, sure,
yeah, there's
but
2 months of games where people can get hurt.
yeah, for injuries, sure, but I think like even if it had even not for injuries, I think they should have planned in like, and then you'll have 2 optional moves where like you if the state of play for these guys changes to such a degree that like, oh, maybe we have to have a swing here, like you can't go crazy with the roster, but here's 2. I think that would have been interesting. But,
Yeah.
oh,
I think ideally you do it like 3 weeks. You submit the roster through. Why do you need the roster 2 months before? What's the point of that?
yeah, that there also is that you could have just done it.
What the hell's the
closer.
point of that? Even a month.
You
Like
coulda
do a
ju-
month.
You could have
Like,
just done it closer. Yeah, I don't.
whatever.
That is.
I just don't understand.
Yeah, it's a bit odd.
Whatever.
It's a bit odd.
All right, Rick. How are your Isles doing there?
Dude, I have not watched the Islanders in 2 weeks. I'm not gonna lie to you, because 2 weeks ago I sat down to watch them play the Devils, and they somehow blew a 3-1
I saw
lead.
that.
You know,
Yep.
that's like the one time I'm at my parents' house able to watch a full game. I'm like, wow, this is great. Look at them go. They just let Sorokin, who played an amazing game, they let all of his saves go to waste by just playing horrible defense in the end of the game. And then they leave Jack Hughes wide open in overtime for a breakaway. And then, it's
Yeah,
Jack Hughes. Like,
yeah.
it's probably, it's probably going to go in, and it did. So after that, I'm like, I think I'm going to take a nice little Islander break for a little bit. But to be honest with you, the other part of it too is the streaming. I'm not to go on the same rant every episode. But the Islanders, this is what's tough right now. I know it's November, and people say November games don't really matter. I get that to an extent. But if you look at the Metro right now, no one's really, the Metro's always close, right? No one really pulled away from the pack quite yet. The Islanders have 21 points. They are right in front of Columbus and Philly, who both have 20 points, and Pittsburgh has 18 points. So when I look at the Islanders, it's going to be a real tight race, and this is kind of the time.
Really is just mid-central. My goodness,
it's
the
just
whole
mid-central.
East.
Yeah. I mean, it is, the Rangers have 25 points, so they're 4 points up on the Isles, but like, again, it's still super early in the season. The main thing that I look at is all of these teams in the Metro. The Islanders have the most OT points. They have five games where they want an OT. I feel like they just go to extra time all the time.
They can't finish it off.
They can't finish it off, and that's what's really frustrating. It's like they can play games very well, and they can string, like Kyle Palmieri still having a great season. Max Siplikov, the Russian guy they got, is fitting in really well with that line. I think that's one of the reasons Palmieri is having a good season. Sorokin is back into form. All these things, I see them. I saw them when I watched the Islanders. It's just this like mental lapse on how to finish games that they can't seem to get consistently. So I'd say that's pretty much the same without going too much into it. I haven't really seen anything different. And in terms of their schedule and what they've been up to recently, they did have a pretty strong win. This was 2 weeks ago last week against Vancouver. They beat them 5-2 in Vancouver, which is pretty nice. But other than that, they lost to Seattle, they lost to Edmonton, they lost to Calgary, they lost to Detroit. So, do with that what you will. And they beat St. Louis. Yesterday. So, just kind of mid.
Yeah, kind of just what they are, dude. Right in the middle. They're like sometimes good, sometimes bad. Just sticking
Sometimes
right in
bad.
the middle.
Yep. Yep. And Matt Barzell, there's still no timetable on him that I've read about. So I don't know if you guys remember, he's out for a bit with an undisclosed injury because it's Lou. I think it's lower body.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see what happens there. But that's all I have on the Islanders. There's not really much to talk about. When your team is, there's not much to talk about.
Unfortunate. Okay, let me run through real quick what the Senators have been doing because I'm fairly certain it's not been good. Okay.
Oh no.
Oh wow. Oh wow.
Oh,
It's
no.
not been good. Yeah.
It's been really poor. All right, so our last show I believe was on the 10th of the month. Was it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. They have since then gone 1-4-1.
Oof.
Oh dear.
Yeah. So they smoked the Leafs 3-0. Nice. A very nice game. And then they lost an OT to the Flyers. Got shut out by the Canes. Lost 5-2 to the Oilers. 1 goal loss to the Vegas Golden Knights, and then another 1 goal loss to the Canucks. So honestly, other than 2 of those losses, they've been close. They've been very close games. They just can't finish it off.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
you gotta win the games. You can't.
Yeah.
There's no moral victories here. Oh, we only lost by 1. You still got 0 points for it.
Not with where they're at anyway. They at some point have to.
Yes. They are
move
currently
here.
somehow,
they have to.
some way, they are beneath the Pittsburgh Penguins.
Yeah, that's
impressive.
That is That's bad. That's pretty bad. That's about it. All right, let me tell you about my
this
Lightning.
fully knowing where the Habs are.
Yeah, but they're supposed to.
Kind of
That's a little bit less there. They're
at,
supposed to be there. Like this team, they've got a goalie now. They've got these defensemen. You got Sanderson. You got the other fucking guy, Cabot Cheese. You've got an insane forward group on paper, and they just can't do it. They're just doing nothing. I don't know. I do not know. But let me tell you about these Lightning. So we talked about a couple games. Oh no, we haven't. Our last show was on the 10th. Okay. So last time we talked, they were in the midst of their bye week. So they played on the 7th, and then they didn't play again until the 14th. And they had gone on a nice, tidy little 4-game losing streak going into that bye week.
Really?
Yeah, they had lost 4 in a row. They got spanked by Winnipeg. They got beaten by Minnesota. So those are 2 of the better teams in the league. They lost to the Blues, not one of the better teams in the league.
No.
And they lost in the shootout to Philly, another team not so good.
Oof.
But then they came back, and their next 2 games, they played some of the best hockey that they've played this year. And they beat Winnipeg 4-1.
Damn.
Nice.
And they shut out the Devils 4-0. Just a really nice, good, solid team game. Then they barely beat Pittsburgh in OT.
Hey,
Pittsburgh
that's
gives
a
them
win.
trouble, dude.
It's a
Pittsburgh
win.
gives them trouble.
They're
Yes,
terrible.
Pittsburgh is.
Is so. I don't know how the Lightning play them so bad. It's every year, dude. They like 1 year, like I think it was the year after, one of the years after they won the cup. They play Pittsburgh in the first game, and it's like 6-1. And I'm like, dude, what? Come on, guys! And it's not like Pittsburgh was like an incredible team. This was when they were starting to slide down. They get smoked. But yeah, and then we get to the 21st where they play Columbus Blue Jackets. Now I didn't watch this game because, to be honest, I forgot it was happening. And then I looked at the score. I was like, oh, they're playing right now. And I checked the score, and it's 3-0. Dude, 7 minutes in or something. Like 13 minutes in, it's 3-0 Lightning. I'm like, oh, hell yeah. So at that point, I was like, I'm not watching, and they're playing well, so I'm not going to watch. I'm going to continue to not watch. And then I check back in, and there's like a minute left to go in the second, and it's fucking 5-5. And I'm like, dude, what are you guys doing? And then at that point, I was like, dude, I don't even want to tune into this shit show. So I didn't watch any. I just went and checked the score, and I was like, you fuckers lost to fucking Columbus. 7 goals. You let Columbus throw up 7 on you. To be fair, they've been scoring quite a bit. They've done that to other teams, but I was like, come on.
That was
dude.
like right after the Habs beat them 5-1, though. So it's like,
I
what is
know,
going on?
It's just random, dude. Well, I will say,
I mean,
Vassy
does
was not
just
in there.
Also, yeah, that also does just happen in hockey.
Yeah.
Like, that is just.
Yeah,
that
it's random,
goes-
dude. It's a very random
happens
sport.
like that.
That's why we love it. But yeah, that was a Johansson special, I believe. I keep saying I need to go and watch the highlights because I want to see if he was letting in soft ass goals or if
they just
it was
couldn't defend to
defensive
save their
breakdowns.
lives. Yeah.
I gotta go and look at that. So that's what I'm gonna do right before I go to bed tonight. But that wasn't great, and they lost 4-2 to Dallas. So they are extremely inconsistent. This team, very, very inconsistent, which is not what you want. And they are currently 5th in the Atlantic.
I feel like they got to be within reach, though, right?
Oh yeah, they're one win and they're jump right back into 3rd.
Yeah.
Jumping up into 3rd, by the way, the Buffalo Sabres. Look out!
Oh my goodness.
Yep,
They
they're
woke up.
2 points behind Florida.
What?
Wow.
2 points.
Holy shit. Yeah, same games played. Wow.
Same games played. The Lightning. I will say the Lightning have, they have at least 1 game in hand on everybody else in the division.
Right.
Same amount of
If not
games as
2.
the Rangers. Yeah, if not 2 or 3 in Boston's
Or
case.
even 3. Yeah. Wow.
So they're in a better spot than it might look, but they need to start getting consistent. And it's starting to feel like this team might be like the team goes as Vassy goes. Is what it's starting to feel like. Which is not how it used to be, but they had a stronger team in years past.
Yeah.
This is not the same team. But hey, Connor Sheary, I have not seen Connor Sheary in a while, so that's nice. No offense to Connor Sheary. I'm sure he's a very nice gentleman, but you suck
You just
as a
don't want
Lightning.
him on your NHL roster at this point.
No, I do not. You're really a really bad Bolt. And I don't know, maybe you don't like the Florida Heat, but that's enough. I think he's in Syracuse right now.
Well,
It really is
making
like,
$2 million in Syracuse.
That really is wild, though. Like the tonal difference from Tampa to you're going to fucking Syracuse.
Dude, it's like the super cold, snowy Western New York. Yeah, it's pretty funny.
Although $2 million that'll get you pretty far in Syracuse.
Oh yeah, man. Oh yeah, $2 million get you far anywhere, dude. Except
Well,
Abu
no,
Dhabi.
but, like super far in Syracuse.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I'm gonna look up over this week what percentage of Syracuse can you buy for $2 million?
Probably buy a couple buildings.
Uh,
You could probably buy a whole block in certain parts. I will take this entire block.
you never know.
But yeah, so this week they actually have a full week this week. So assuming we have a show, no, we're not gonna have a show because it's Thanksgiving. But before next Sunday, in the next week, they have 4 games. They play the Avalanche, they play the Capitals, the Predators in where the hell are they from? Nashville. In Nashville, Jesus. And then that's a back-to-back from Friday to Saturday, and then on Saturday they play the Leafs.
That is a tough 4 games.
Yeah, it's interesting. We're gonna see. We'll see what they're made of here. And that back-to-back, and it's the Leafs too, and they smoked them last time. They'll probably smoke them again.
Leafs are playing good hockey this year.
They're playing very well.
They are.
Can't say they aren't. They are playing very well.
Nah, fuck them. They suck.
Okay. So, all right, we're going to take a little break here, and then we've got some heat meter, and then the much anticipated Canada and US rosters. So don't go anywhere. We will return in just a few minutes.
Oh yeah.
All right, gentlemen, welcome back from the break. I hope everyone had a nice little break. But first of all, I gotta tell you guys first thing, how acclimated Danielle and I have become to the Florida weather because we got a cold snap here.
Oh my.
A cold
Oh
snap
my god.
where I woke up, I think Friday I think was the coldest day. But I wake up and I'm like, Jesus, I am so cold right now. We didn't have the heat on. And I was like, dude, it's freezing in here. And I checked the thermostat in the apartment and it's I think it was like 62.
That's just what I keep my apartment at.
Dude, I was like, it's so cold, man. And then outside it was like 48 and it was like, whew,
Mm.
that's
that's
cold. It's funny though. It's wild. Cause like I walked out and it felt like, cause I have that feeling still, and it felt like how like probably low 30s, like high 20s to low 30s felt in New York. So
Right.
it's interesting.
Because
The,
your
the human
body's
body gets used
adjusting.
to
Yeah.
I mean, because we don't want to, because in the summer we didn't want the AC constantly running, so we kept it at like 76. So
Yeah.
we got acclimated to that as like our baseline temperature.
Baseline, yeah.
So if you
Yeah.
think about it, we're like a good 15 degrees colder. So
That's
Yeah.
true.
yeah,
Like I usually keep because electric in Plattsburgh in the summer, I ran my AC most of the summer, and I was still never paying more than like 25 to 30 bucks a month on electricity because the electricity system in Plattsburgh fucking rules. But the one thing that does not work well and uses a shitload of energy is handily the thing that is in pretty much every apartment you can rent in Plattsburgh, which is electric baseboard heating.
oh yeah,
The least efficient form of heating in the world. So most of the winter I have my apartment around 65-ish. And I just wear like a hoodie and sweatpants, and I like that though. It's nice.
I mean, that's
especially
where-
for sleeping, like that's perfect.
I can't tell what it's at right now. That's where we set the heat at. So that's where if it gets beneath that, the heat will kick on to get it back
It's
above
like
that. But
nice too because I'm on the 3rd floor, and I
you get all
even
the
a lot
other
of
people's heat.
time- a lot of the time I don't even need to turn it on. Like I literally, I just get, especially because the walls and floors are very thin in this building. So I very rarely turn my heat on. It's really the only room I do is if I'm going to take a shower, like 20 minutes before, I'll go crank the little like one on the wall in there up to get it nice and toasty in there for when I get out, and that's perfect. But that's really the only time I ever use it
All right.
for the most part.
Yeah,
Anyway,
that is nice.
heating talk done.
Now that we're done talking about that, leave a comment. What's your heating situation? And yeah, just give it to us. Let us know. Because we're very interested in that. But moving on, it's time for the heat meter, boys. And this might be the first episode ever where the heat meter is readily available in the Discord chat.
Yeah, I saw.
Hell yeah.
So you don't need me to tell you things anymore. You
Translate it for us.
You can just
Yeah.
look at it, dude. Open it up. Shit, mine's not opening very well, but I'll figure it out. It doesn't matter because
Mine's
I don't
very
need
tiny, but I can make it work.
Let's go. I will go with. Let's go with Benny.
All right. What do we got?
You are playing the role this week, gentlemen. I have 2 goaltenders.
I'm scared.
Oh boy.
Benny, you are playing the role of Linus Ullmark. I don't remember if we've done Linus Ullmark already,
I don't think we have.
but
No.
how hot is it considering you were brought in to be the starter, and you currently have a record of 4-7 with an .881 save percentage? Oh
God.
that is
Oh, God.
unfortunate.
That's
hurting.
ooh. Well, I gotta feel pretty bad about talking shit about Ilya Samsonov over the summer, considering he came right back and beat us in this losing streak we got going right now. That's rough, and I mean, you put it out there. 4 wins in 13 games is entirely unacceptable. This is me talking as more so the inner demons inside Olmark that he can't really say out loud, but this team has gone through. I'm like the 4th or 5th goalie that this team is on, being like, you're the solution. Maybe our defense is just ass. But I can't actually say that. So I'm gonna say I really got to be better. I really got to be better. And hopefully that'll start with next game. But in terms of the meter, let me look. Where am I at here?
Holy shit, dude! Do you need new glasses?
It didn't open up fully. Like the thing is, it opened up.
Oh,
it's very
yeah,
tiny.
in the Discord. Yeah, honestly, the best way
Yeah,
to do that
it's-
is to save that sucker to your computer.
Oh, let me open in browser and it worked. Oh,
Or you can do
beauty!
that.
There we go.
Dude, where's my cursor's gone, bro. Oh, never mind, it's here.
I'm gonna say I'm right around the New Mexico Scorpio, so I'm in the third to the
Darn.
highest. The third to
Just-
the highest. Well,
Just above a ghost pepper.
Yeah, I mean,
And below the
just
Naga
got a-
Viper. Wow.
what is it? Roughly, it was like an $8 million-ish a year deal.
8.25.
Before I even really proved myself with the new team. It's got to be getting tough by now. I'm feeling that goal light every time it hits the back of my neck, getting a sunburn back there. But
Yes, the back of the neck sunburn.
in terms of Ben talking now, yeah, it's weird. I did not expect this. I mean, it's kind of funny that both him and Swayman are doing it at the same time.
Yeah, it is interesting. Yes. No need to
It's
go
like they
into it
only
too
work
closely.
together.
Hold on. I want to add something into this though
Yeah.
that I think is important.
But that's where I'm at. What are you thinking, Eric?
Allmark should say, "Hey, who was that goalie you guys had last year? Corpusalo was his name, I think. It's pretty bad for you, right? What's he doing with the Bruins right now? Oh, he's outperforming Jeremy Swayman.
Ooh.
He is,
And
which is
we just went
rough.
over the Bruins. We went over the Bruins defense. It ain't great.
It's cheeks.
So the Senators somehow have a more cheeks defense than the Bruins.
Not the good
And
kind
what
of
I-
cheeks either.
Allmark is like, look at Corpusalo actually having success when he has somewhat of a defensive strategy playing in front of him, even though Boston's been kind of I say,
Yep.
hey, Sen, please play defense.
Yep.
That's all.
I would actually go a little bit lower, personally, because in my opinion, because if I'm him, I'm like, dude, this has been happening for like years now. It's like
That's
clearly
true.
it's not the
Yeah.
goaltender anymore. It's
Yeah.
clearly not. It's clearly defensive structure, or the players don't feel like playing defense or some shit. It's gotta be. But that's where I'm at. If that's where my head's at, if I'm Olmark, I'm still pretty hot because like you were brought in to be the guy, and then you were given a shitload of money to be the guy.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
probably a nice orange habanero. So not too bad. I mean it's fucking hot, but it's more than halfway. But yeah. Okay, Eric. I'm glad we didn't go too far into this because you, my friend, are playing the role of Jeremy Swayman.
Oh no.
You know, they were such a dynamic duo in Boston. I figured I'd
God.
pair them together here. How hot is it for you at 15 games played, 6-7 with a nice little 887 save percentage, and your
Oh,
coach
God.
just got fired.
Oh, All right, this one's kind of tough. All right, as Jeremy Swayman, the reason this is kind of tough is because I committed long term to Boston, right? And the fan base, right, kind of saw the whole contract negotiation thing, that fiasco, as something that really fell on the laps of Don Sweeney at the end of the day and how they handled that from their end. So I think the fan base is still on my side because they saw how much I wanted to be in Boston, but also get paid what I thought I deserved. But I did miss training camp because of that, and it definitely is showing because I'm not at my best right now. And the other part of this is I definitely think the whole team is struggling. So while I'm struggling as well, it's not just me. If the team was playing well, but I was the reason that they were losing games completely, not our lack of offense, I would say I'd be a little more worried. So I'm gonna go look at this chart here, and I'm gonna say that I'm at a cayenne right now.
I like a cayenne pepper, little cayenne pepper in my food. Tasty.
Yeah, I think I'm at a cayenne just because the Bruins are going through a bunch of changes right now. It's not we talk about this, right? Sometimes it's not the coach's fault, but the easiest person to get rid of. I think you said it, Benny. Just the coach. Just get rid of the coach, and then that just changes things up. But I do think while it's at cayenne right now, if this play continues, that's going to be really interesting. But I think the Bruins are trying to get a different look at things at the moment. So we'll see what happens.
All right.
That's my take.
Benny,
What
what
do
do
you
you
got?
think about that?
Um,
Benethy.
I mean, I mean, it's so hard to blame him. I mean, because unless you're blaming him for holding out, but
Yeah.
like it was always gonna affect him. Like that's just a matter of how things go. But I don't think it's gonna last. I think he's a good goalie. He's gonna get his shit together. It probably would help things if he gets his shit together quicker than slower here. But or sooner than later is the phrase I was trying to go with.
Quicker than slower.
Quicker than slower. That's the new one. I'm gonna go with it. Fuck it. But it's gotta be a little spicy. Let me bring up the chart again real quick. Let me see here. Open in browser so I can actually fucking read the damn thing. Although granted, yeah, my glasses are from junior year of high school, so who knows?
My God, man, that's 10 years ago. You have the same glasses as you did a decade ago.
I have a slightly newer pair from
Also,
like
think about
second
that.
year of college. From second year of college that have like a slightly stronger prescription, but
Okay.
They
squeeze
my
your
head is fucking big and
Yeah.
but the pepper, let's say a nice cayenne or a Thai. We're getting around
Alright.
halfway.
All right.
It's
Yeah, you're sticking right with
like
Eric. You
he's
agree.
still like he's very obviously still the long-term guy there. I have faith in the fact that he's gonna get it back around, but it's not going great. It's not going great.
Yes, I agree. I'll say it's cayenne as well. My only caveat with that is he has yet to prove that he can be the number one starter in the league. He's only ever
Right.
had those stats with Ullmark as his backup, or not even a backup, with Ullmark as his tandem.
Yeah,
Like I know he
right.
won the job in the playoffs, but like that's like a stretch of like what was it, like 10 games, 11 games, something like that?
Yeah.
Maybe 13. Did they lost? Yeah, it was like
It was 5 or 6 in
was
the
like-
second round, so it's
yeah,
12
yeah,
or
yeah.
13 games.
Yeah,
Either
so
way.
it's not I just don't know if he can do it. I would assume
Right.
that he can, but it has not been shown yet. So that's my only thing. But yeah, I'd agree with you both about a cayenne. Okay.
First,
Gentlemen.
like, it could very quickly get spicier, very
yeah,
fast,
definitely,
depending on
very
how
much.
the rest goes. But in terms of where we're at right now, yeah, probably about halfway.
Yes. Okay, here we go. Moving on, gentlemen. You want to go Canada first, or do you want to go US?
Whichever you like.
Let's do Canada.
All right, we'll go in the order that I posted them in the thing.
We'll
So
do the underdog.
Ooh, burn.
I say
Okay.
that with McDavid, McKinnon, and Crosby.
Yeah, that's like they're just right there. Those names are just right there.
We got the NHL.com projected rosters.
So
Yeah.
and this is you've got there's going to be an asterisk on this because for some reason they posted these in like July.
Yeah.
So it was projected from months ago instead of right now. So there will be swaps. There will be little swapsies here. But right now their forwards are Matt Barzal, currently hurt. Connor Bedard, currently playing like shit. Sidney Crosby, yeah, he's good. Lafreniere, very good. McKinnon,
Yep.
very good. Marchand, playing like shit. Marner, very good. McDavid, very good. Pointer just got back from being hurt, but still playing very well, or decently at least. And he was actually already named to it, so he's stuck on there anyway. Sam Reinhart, no shocker there. I think he's still up there in the rocket race. Mark Scheifele, very, very solid start as well. Stamkos, not probably going to stay on this roster, as much as I hate to say it. And Mark Stone, who, I'll be honest, I don't even know what the hell he's doing. But let me tell you who I see on that list. Wait, can I do forwards on this? Quant Hockey? Hell yeah. Quant Hockey, dude. Quant Hockey's pretty good for this kind of thing.
Yep.
So interestingly, not on the thing, probably won't get on because of the situation. Dylan Strome is tied for third with Connor McDavid in points right now among Canadian players.
Ooh.
So he's actually ahead of Mitch Marner, but you've got to think a lot of that was a little bit of Ovechkin magic.
He's a center though, right?
I'm not sure. It says forward.
I thought isn't he centering?
I think he's
centering
him.
Ovi right now.
I think yeah. So if they're looking for more centers, do they need more centers?
I have a question.
Well, in terms of him over Bedard, long term, obviously no. Currently,
definitely.
Yeah.
Another one you don't see on. Oh,
you said John Tavares too, right? On that projection.
I did not say John Tavares.
I was gonna say, talking about people who've had a strong start to the year, I think he has his name in there for sure.
Johnny T.
I can see it in the mix.
Yeah.
Hockey Canada also really likes their guys, so it would not shock me to see him get brought in.
So he currently, interestingly enough, let me throw two other names at you guys.
Okay.
Actually, higher scoring right now than Johnny T. Both Bolts, Brandon Hagel and Anthony Cirelli. I've heard them brought up a few times by other shows. And I wonder, Anthony Cirelli I could see because he is first of all, Cooper's the coach. So if he's got any sway, he's probably going to be like, give me that guy, please. Shut down centerman. Hagel, I mean, shit, I just like Hagel as a player.
Hagel's a great player.
Do they bring them on? Probably not. But they are currently up there, scoring-wise. They're both at 21 points. If you're going by points, they're probably making it. But I don't expect. They're actually ahead of Crosby, or they're tied with Crosby right now. So, but yeah. I don't think they make it. I would expect them to probably go Tavares over them just because they do enjoy their guys, enjoy their men.
Yeah.
One player up there as well, Matt Duchene, not mentioned. I don't know if they'll throw him a bone because he's been playing pretty well.
He has been. He's been good for my fantasy team.
Yep, Jared McCann not on that list. He's had a pretty good start to the season.
He's been good for my fantasy team. There we go.
Yep. There's a lot. There's a lot of players not on that. That's how it goes. So we'll have to see if they stick with kind of a philosophy, or if they're like, these guys are playing really well so far this season, let's just take them. It'll be interesting to see.
Regardless, forward is not going to be where Canada is lacking. They'll be fine, just fine.
Nope.
So
they will be all right.
I was about to say, forwards are very interesting, but defense and goaltending, we're going to get to that right now.
Yes.
That interesting.
Yes. So on defense, we've got Evan Bouchard, Noah Dobson, Cale Makar, who was the only defenseman named in the first 6.
Mhm.
Josh Morrissey, Alex Pietrangelo, Shea Theodore, and Devon Tays. That's pretty good. That's certainly nothing to turn your nose at. You've got Cale Makar, probably the best defenseman in the league. Maybe not at defense specifically, but
Yeah.
at everything else. And he's not a slouch at defense. So
This is going to be the rare occasion I actually bring up like an SDPN thing where they were propping
Yeah.
up a Leaf guy, and I'm
Yes.
going to be like, I think they're right.
Tanev?
Yes.
Where they were doing an Evan Bouchard versus Chris Tanev option, like weighing the options in terms of a lower down the lineup guy for their decor. And I think they were correct in saying that having a guy that's so much more steadier and responsible, and still also at the same time quite good as Chris Tanev, is more valuable than Evan Bouchard on the back end, with as good as he can be on offense. I saw it firsthand in that game against the Habs. A couple of those goals were directly tied to him.
Yeah.
Like he makes some choices. Like
Yeah.
he makes some questionable choices, and I do think it would make and especially when, yes, he has these offensive abilities, but this is the same thing they said on SCPN. You have Cale Makar. You have, if we're going by this projected list, you also got Shea Theodore there. You got Alex Pietrangelo.
Josh Morrissey.
You're not gonna have any issues moving the puck up ice.
Very true.
You don't need Bouchard in my eyes, but
Very true.
I wonder if he might make it. Who knows?
What do we think about Noah Dobson, Eric? I have not gotten a good look at him yet.
I think Dobson, he's had a quiet start to the year offensively, and I think it's kind of similar to what Ben was saying about Bouchard. Like, when I watch Dobson play, he's an offensive defenseman and he moves the puck so well, but some of the defensive play in front of his own net, yikes. Like, and I just feel like because of how tight and competitive this is going to be, you have a plethora of like all these offensive defensemen, right? You need some steady defensemen to balance it out. You just do. I think that being said, I'm biased, but I would take Dobson over Bouchard. Just because, like Ben was saying, some of the play I've seen from Bouchard this year, oh boy, like way worse than Dobson. At least from the defensive end of the puck.
Mm-hmm.
But those are my thoughts on that. I think Dobson had a very good year last year, but he's not really building off of that too much so far this year. So that's all I'll say.
Yep. What do you think when I say the name Brandon Montour? Currently 14 points and a +8.
Ooh.
That intrigues me because he's one of those offensive defensemen that also is pretty good on the defensive side of the puck as well.
Yeah, he is not on the list, but he shows up when I look at these Canadian defensemen. Yep.
Yes, that is definitely a name that I would consider. He's been great for Seattle. He's getting all that ice time, right? Not that he didn't get it in Florida, but he's being relied on even more heavily because Seattle doesn't have the same depth.
Yep. All right, and then we get to the weakest portion of the roster, and that is the goaltending. So in July, they were projecting Jordan Binnington. Maybe it wasn't July, but I've got Jordan Binnington, Sam Montembeault, and Stu Skinner as the trio. No particular order, just that's the trio.
I don't think Sam Montembeault has done enough to make it. I love him, but I don't think it's going to be that. I think it'll be Adin Hill.
Okay, I take it back. This was from November 4th.
Oh.
Yeah. November 4th?
I still don't.
Who the hell wrote this?
Yeah, if that's the case, then these lists are wild.
This is awful, dude. I love Stamkos. Why was he in there in November 4th? He had like 2 points.
Yeah.
Who wrote this?
Oh boy.
Who wrote, dude? They don't have a name. Yeah, you coward, coward.
In terms of that trio, though, I mean, the Jordan Binnington and the Stuart Skinner make sense. I think it'll be Aiden Hill in place of Montembeau. Aiden Hill's overall stats not great, but I think he's won. I think I looked at it a second ago. It was 9 of 14 games. So like the overall save percentage stats not amazing, but getting the wins.
Yeah,
I think it'll go him over Monty. I love Monty, but unless somebody on their management team is viewing it the same way my Habs fan biased brain is, like the moments he actually gets any semblance of defensive structure in him, he's solid as a rock and he can actually do it. But if he gets fed like 5 or 6 cross creases a game, there's not really much most goalies are gonna do. Like,
Yeah.
it's what it is. But I feel like just from his record alone, I don't think he's gonna. I don't think it's gonna happen. But who knows?
I
knows?
think crazy enough, I think one of the 3 that they have is Cammy Talbot.
Yeah.
Interesting. Where's he at this year?
I don't even remember where the hell he's playing, but
Is he in Minnesota?
No.
I thought it was Detroit. Am I making that up?
He might be in Detroit.
I mean, Detroit signed like 7 goalies in the off season, so he could have been one of them.
No, not Talbots. I don't care about Talbots.
Yeah, I thought it was Detroit.
He is currently in Detroit.
There we go.
But he also is rocking a 2.62 goals against and a 921 save percentage.
Wow. Okay.
921. Okay.
In 12 games played. So it's not like he's barely playing. He's
right.
he's
That's
got
enough
some
of
good
a
time, yeah.
sample size at this point to be notable.
Of the goalies I'm seeing here, he has by far the highest.
I'm gonna say
He'd be an interesting addition. I mean, this was always the position that was gonna be the issue.
They don't. It's not a great
Canada.
lineup when you compare.
Forward
it to
was
other
always
teams.
going to be fine. Forward is always going to be fine. Defense they can make do. Goalie was always going to be the rough situation. But
yeah,
we'll
Jake
see how it
Allen,
turns out.
917. Like their best save percentages are from like goalies well into their 30s. Pretty wild, actually.
Which, I mean, as we know with goalies are weird,
They
right?
do
weird.
usually last
They're
longer.
weird.
Age-wise too.
Logan Thompson, another one. Whoa, Logan Thompson.
Oh, he's been doing well with Washington, right?
8-1 with a
Yes.
915.
Yes, he was my dart.
Oh, actually,
He might be.
Swap him in for Aiden Hill. The guy who left Vegas. That's the one who actually might be the answer there.
Yeah, might be.
I could see that.
Might be.
Imagine to end this segment. Imagine the 3 goalies the Team Canada chooses are Marc-Andre Fleury, Cam Talbot, and Jake Allen. Imagine that. Just do it.
Old. Get
No
him
balls.
in there. No
Just
balls. Yeah.
the geriatric goalies.
Yes. The retirement home goaltenders. All right, let's move on to the USA, the US of A. All right, here's what they have for the forwards projected. And let me real quick.
Oh yeah.
This first one
USA.
interests me because I'd heard otherwise.
This one's
reported
from
during
July.
Habs game.
This one's from July.
Okay.
July 4th. Hey, July 4th. Hell yeah.
They timed that.
All right, so we got Cole Caulfield, Kyle Connor, Jack Eichel, Jake Gensel. I actually do think Gensel will be on there. Jack Hughes, of
been
course. Clayton Keller. Ooh, that's interesting.
That's
but
the one guy that makes me wonder if Cole actually could maybe
Squeeze
I
on?
don't think they're that far apart as players.
I've got the stats at least, so I'll be able to tell you that. But Clayton Keller, Dylan Larkin, I don't know about that. I don't know what he's been doing. The team's been sucking balls.
Yeah.
Austin Matthews, obviously, he's already been named to it. JT Miller is not playing right now for some personal
Yeah.
reason.
I think
So
he's on personal leave or something.
So,
personal reasons.
hopefully
yeah.
everything goes well with him. But we'll have to wait and see if he is even available. Jason Robertson,
This
I think
can
he's been doing
see
okay.
Changing a lot.
Yeah, definitely. Brady Kachuk, Matthew Tkachuk, who is already named to it, and Vincent Trocheck.
Yeah.
But we'll go through.
It's a hell of a forward roster.
Yeah, let me tell you. Let me tell you what's going on here. Eichel, of
Yeah, let's
course.
see what.
Kyle Connor. Matt Boldy. Is
Ooh.
4th in scoring. I feel like
I think
is somebody you've got to throw in there.
He's got to make his way into it. Yeah, I think so.
You got to put him in for someone, not
Yeah.
Brady Tkachuk. Brady Tkachuk's in.
Yeah.
He will not. No one's gonna bump him off. I haven't even looked at the stats. Doesn't matter.
I also just think it's gonna be hilarious and
he's
terrifying
right
to
after
watch
Boldy.
to watch Brady and Matthew play on a line together.
Yeah.
I'm so
Like,
excited for that, dude. I'm so
That's
excited.
gonna be wild.
So
Because
excited.
they have to do it. Like if
Yeah.
they
You
don't,
gotta.
that's lame as fuck.
You
If they
gotta.
don't,
Yeah, I won't even. Yeah, that's so lame. And they're going to do it. And the line that Nick came up with when he did his projected thing with
Yep.
those two on the wings of Austin Matthews is incredible.
Yeah,
Absolutely incredible.
That's not.
yeah, that's yeah.
Like just fantastic.
Just making all of the room in the world for
Yeah.
Austin Matthews to
He's
go
got
snipe City.
so much room to do whatever he wants. Right after Tkachuk, Alex Tuck, not on this list, but Tucky's there, man.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I
Buffalo's
wonder if he could push himself in.
Yeah. Then right after him, 19 points is Clayton Keller. So here's your answer. Clayton Keller at 19 points, 6 goals, 13 assists.
Wow.
Cole Caulfield, 16 points, 12 goals, 4 assists. So it depends on what
You're
they're
getting more
trying.
goals. Yeah,
Get a
you're
lot
getting
more
more goals
goals,
out of
yeah.
Cole, but yeah.
It depends on what they're looking for. I could see them doing that. But it depends on if they need more shooters. They've got a lot of shooters.
Yeah.
Kyle Connor. Obviously Austin
That's true.
Matthews if he's back. Jake Gensel's a scorer.
He
Who
also
knows?
sets people up. He set Crosby up for years.
Jake Gensel? Oh yeah. Yeah. He actually has more assists than goals, but yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dylan Larkin's up there pretty high. Cole Caulfield probably makes it on this team.
With the circumstances of some of these guys we already talked about, like JT Miller, I don't know where that's going to be at. Then depending on what you want between like a Clayton Keller and him, if you want more goals, I don't know. It's one of those where like I'll understand if he doesn't, because
Although
the forward situation is good. Like there's some stiff competition. Like it's not going to surprise me if he doesn't.
Also not, because here's the thing. Basically just a 6'7" Cole Caulfield, Tage Thompson, 11 goals, 7 assists right now.
He does exist as well, yeah.
He is probably gonna make it. There will be 2 Buffalo Sabres on this team, I bet. Alex Tuck and Tage Thompson will probably make this team.
That would be fun.
Which is pretty wild.
Here's what I'm gonna say for Dylan Larkin. Larkin's a center, correct?
Yeah.
Oh, never. Well, I was gonna say this is just my Islanders bias coming in here. I can't believe it, but quietly having a very good season. And American, actually from Long Island, Kyle Palmieri. He has 9 goals, 9 assists, good for 18 points in 21 games, folks.
There he is, right there, 33. Right, tied with Jake Gensel and Tage Thompson.
Just saying.
Yeah, that's interesting. I wonder.
Hard-nosed player. He's one of those hard-nosed players too. Not shy from the board battles. Getting to the greasy area.
That does make me think of when they took Justin Applicator over Phil Kessel. So maybe we will see Kyle Palmieri on the American roster.
It depends on what they want to do. Like, do they want to just take the high flying players, or do they want to actually form some lines where you've got like some hard checking lines and whatnot?
I feel like if you're going with the Tkachuks, you might have to beat the shit out of everyone. But at the same time, you could also argue, well, you have the Tkachuks. Just get a bunch of talent around them and let them do their.
Yeah, the Tkachuks are like, they're such unicorns, honestly, because they are literally like 2 of the most skilled players in the league, and they also will beat the shit out of you.
Pieces of shit.
Yeah,
it's so wild. Like, it's actually crazy.
Like pieces of shit in the way that you would always
that's
want
what you
them
want. Oh
on
yeah,
your team.
you would love them on
Like,
your
yeah.
team, and you hate them on any other
Yeah.
team. Yeah,
Dude, you just said Justin Abdelkader. I haven't heard that name in.
that's a classic.
What a great name! What a great hockey
That's a
name.
classic.
It's a hell of a pull, yeah.
All right, let's move along to the defense here. Brock Faber, who I don't think's been doing super well, but he's a good player. Adam Fox.
Anybody with the
who's
Wild
on
this
the team.
year are doing okay.
That's true. Adam Fox, who's on the team. Quinn Hughes, who is on the team.
Yep.
Charlie McAvoy, who is on the team.
I mean, he's a good player.
He's a good player.
The Boston is Boston this year. He's a good player.
Yep.
That's a hell of a 3 in a row right there, too.
Definitely.
Defense? Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Keandre Miller. I don't know that he will make it, but
yeah, he's rough. He's had a rough go at it. I can see why he'd be on that list though. But he's had a rough go to start the year. Yeah.
Jacob Slavin, a classic.
Fantastic
Stay-at-home defenseman.
Defensive defenseman right there.
Yep. And bringing in the rear, Zach Werenski, another very good player. Actually leading the American defenseman in points currently.
That's a good
That checks out.
That's a good decor. Can you run that decor?
It's a good team. It's a really good team.
All right. You've got Fox Hughes as probably a number one pair.
Yep.
McAvoy's a righty. McAvoy Werenski maybe as a 2 pair. Shit. And then I guess you're looking at probably
Slavin's up higher, I think.
You think Slavin plays with one of them?
He's got to be up in the second pair probably.
Slavin and McAvoy probably in that second pair. And then you've got Werenski and I think Faber's a righty. Or Miller. Yeah, that's pretty good. But let me throw some names at you here.
Yeah, there's some names I'm thinking.
From the best team in the league, Neil Pionk, 17 points right now with a 12 plus minus.
Wow.
I mean, the Jets are kind of
they've been really good.
Year,
they've been very good.
That makes sense.
I wonder if Noah Hannafin gets a look. Jake Sanderson, nope. He has a minus 11. Do not even think about it.
They don't need offense.
Nope.
They don't need...
Nope, we're good. We're good on the offense. Just see where the Canadian team is going to be. We need to outscore our goaltending problems. The American team needs to be let's play the most even-keeled style of hockey that it's possible to play because they have the most well-rounded roster.
They do.
Two names that come to mind for me. One of them, John Carlson. He's old.
He's up there. He has a plus 13.
Has he been having a good year with Washington? I don't even really know.
14 points.
Yep.
Okay. I mean, Washington's been having a good year. So
they've been very good.
Checks out.
What's the second one?
This one's for you, Nick. Jacob Trouba.
Yeah. No, dude. How far down do I have to scroll to get to Jacob fucking Trouba? Here he is, 29th in American defensive scoring. 6 points.
Imagine Team USA had Trouba and the Kachucks on the same team.
Shit. Maybe you do it.
You're not allowed to.
How many elbows can an enemy team catch, man? How?
Yo,
you can do
in
it.
the same
unlimited amount.
The Kachucks will draw 2 penalties in the same play as Jacob Trouba concusses someone with a flying elbow.
Yep. You know what? Hey, let me throw a name out there just because why not? Ryan Mackey D.
Oh, McDonough. Okay.
The Mack truck.
I wonder if they do the whole veteran thing there.
Yeah.
It wouldn't. That would not shock me. I mean, USA Hockey also is known to like their guys.
Well, here's the thing: if you put like McDonough with like a Charlie McAvoy,
that's pretty stable.
You like that?
Yeah, that's a good situation.
And they both play.
I could see it.
Yeah.
I think
regardless, you're gonna be all right. Like
very good.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah.
I was gonna say the 6D that you outlined too is such a good like mix of like some players with experience even though they're young. So it's like everyone's like skates quick, moves the puck well, defensively reliable. Like there's no defensive holes that I see there.
Yeah,
They-
no.
but I
they'll be
mean,
good.
there's some that are lesser than others, but they balance
Yeah.
each other well. I think.
Yeah.
It'll be
Like,
fairly balanced, yes.
All right.
Moving on to what I would say is probably the American strongest position, the goaltending situation. So number 1, Connor Hellebuyck was in the projected. He will be the starter, barring
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
anything crazy. He's by far the best goalie this year, playing on a very strong team. But I mean, USA is going to be a very strong team. So in here also they have Thatcher Demko, who has yet to lace him up this year.
Yeah,
and
so he
Jeremy
won't be.
Swayman. No, he will not be. And Jeremy Swayman.
And I think you can pretty easily swap Demko out for Ottinger.
Yep, Ottinger. Yep.
Yeah.
Swayman, I wonder if they'll just take him to be the third string just because they're going based on his previous stuff and they see what's going on in Boston right now and realize what it is.
Considering he's not going to be the starter, maybe.
I think you could probably bring him with, yeah.
Probably. But do you swap him? Do you trade him out for, say, a Joey Decord at a 922 save
He's
percentage?
An interesting
kind of
option.
crushing
He's
it.
been strong. It'd be such a weird, like, just I'm going based on like the hockey stereotype of going for the more established name and guy.
Yeah.
Going for Joey Decord, maybe it would be the right choice. I just don't know if they would do it.
Okay. Is
Um,
Caden Primo American?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
Okay. I did
Okay.
not know that.
His,
Every time I heard that name,
his-
I just assumed.
So
His dad, Keith Primo, he was like Philadelphia Flyer most of his life.
Oh.
He grew up a lot of his life in Philly.
No shit. I heard that name and just assumed that he was French Canadian.
Nope.
Dang, man. Well, either way, at nearly a 5 goals against average, we're good. Holy fuck.
Yeah, he's been ass.
Dude,
been ass.
4.59.
He's been ass, and that's
Wow.
yeah.
Dang,
All right.
man, that is bad. Woo.
we decided Hellebuck and Onger are your 1-2.
I
For
think
my
so.
number 3, who did you guys just say for the 3 possibly?
I'm saying
thing
Joey
is-
okay.
Joey Decord. Okay.
It'd be fun to have Joey. Okay, that'd be fun. I think it'll probably end up being Swayman, but Joey Decord would be an interesting option.
He
What do
was
you
one
think?
of my guys. My other dark horse, it's probably not going to happen, but is Anthony Stolar because he's been
Yeah.
fan.
He's been very good as well.
Actually,
He's been very good as well.
his level of play so far honestly might be high enough to he might just get that spot over Swayman because you got to make these
7-3,
decisions quick. Like
921 or 927 shit.
He is currently the league leader in save percentage, and he is top 5 in goals against. He's 3.
yeah, honestly
He probably gets a sniff. I would
yeah,
say.
I could see that.
I gotta be honest, based on because here's the thing: this Four Nations thing is happening this year. Like,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Swayman. No, you've You've not been. Maybe for the Olympics. Maybe if you've picked it back up, but right
He's
now
got
like,
time
no.
to get it sorted, but no, it's
Not this
not
year.
been good this year.
Yeah, so probably Hellebuck, Ottinger, and Stolars is probably what
You
you're
wanna-
looking at. Maybe
you want-
Decord.
So if we choose that, this is what's crazy. If you look at the NHL stats, if those are the 3 starters for Team USA, they are all top 5 in goals again in the league right now. All those goalies, and they just
They're
happen to
good
be.
goalies.
Can't be stopped.
That's nuts. That's nuts.
Can't be good scored on.
Can stop.
Can stop.
Save percent. Stolars and Hell are in the top 5 of save percentage too. It's unbelievable.
Yep. Yeah, it's pretty nuts.
Goalie is Team USA's strongest position. 100%.
I mean, the forwards are not. It's all just kind of good. Like,
yeah.
So when you look at it, looking at the 4 teams in the tournament, the US have the best goaltending. the Canadians have the best offense. And then defense. I mean, you want to say Sweden, but like Carlson's
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
I feel like honestly, U.S., Canada, Sweden defense are not.
Pretty tied.
They're really not. I mean, there's probably differences, but they're not that crazy apart. Like
Yeah.
I feel like they balance out for the most part.
Yeah. It's gonna be interesting.
But
I'm very excited. Ooh,
I guess yeah, you were right, Eric. Like the goalie is the one where Team USA very clearly has an advantage over everybody else.
Yeah, that's how-
Like yeah, that is very very true.
friggin' right.
That's wild.
Connor Hellebuck, baby.
I remember the days where it was like you just had to play Canada internationally, and they were like, "Hey, we're just gonna have Carey Price. Doesn't matter who's behind him.
Yeah.
Carey Price."
Well,
You're
it
like,
was
And
it was
then-
Marc-Andre Fleury.
well-
That's who it was.
Oh,
Or you'd have Luongo in there sometimes
Yeah.
too, or yeah.
just
yeah,
dominant.
they had great goaltending back in the day.
Even then, though,
Yeah.
like I would just hear, "Oh, Carey Price is in that." All right, well, that's it. Game over.
It's a low scoring game. If
Gonna
anything.
he's in front of him that gives him what like
Yeah.
shots a game, and it's Carey Price. Like
It always was very revealing as a Habs fan to watch him play on those teams because I'm like, oh, I could have this if
Yeah.
my team was run well. I mean, it never would have reached Team Canada levels because
Obviously.
those forward rosters are fucking
Yeah.
stupid. But like even like if you could get to like 60 or 70% of that, which is a contending NHL team, he could be. It was such a fucking career wasted. I'm still
It really
Mark
was.
Bergevin. I hope you never know peace. But anyway,
Yep. All right. Well, we're not going to get into it right now because I got to go take a shower and go to sleep. But let us know down in the comments whose roster do you like more, US or Canada? I mean, it's obviously the US's goaltending is far and away better. Everything else kind of close.
Yeah.
Let us know. Let us know what you think. Obviously, I will be cheering for the US of A and the Kachucks. Yeah. And Jacob Trouba coming down the wall. Boom.
concussion, folks.
Concussion. All right, you guys got
Lord.
anything else, or are we wrapping this bad boy up?
I think I'm all set.
That's
All
it.
right. All right, we will be back next week. Have a good week. Peace out.